What's up, guys? Man, how you guys doing, man? Golly, we are live, man. Wow. So glad you guys decided to join us today, man. So glad you guys decided to join the live, man. My name is Glover Quinn. I am a retired Pro Bowl defensive back. Now, I am your host here in the DB room, man. Sounds good. It sounds great, man. Glad to see my people joining in. Hope it fills up, man. We got a good show lined up tonight, man. We got a good show. We got Seattle Seahawks safety Quandre Diggs in the building. He's here. He's hanging out backstage. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Okay. Yeah. We're going to be lit tonight. He's here hanging out. I'm going to bring him out in a second, okay? You guys are in the DB room. Hopefully people start to fill in. But, hey, let's get right to it, man. Let's roll. So, obviously you guys know I started this channel, man, so I can educate, motivate, inspire. So before we get into the show, man, it's just something I really want to say. What's going on in our country right now is sad. It's heartbreaking. And unfortunately, it's something that's been going on for far too long, honestly, way too long. And I know it's some uncomfortable conversations having to be had, but that's how change happens. When you move out of your comfort zone, you have the ability to grow. So let's not run from the uncomfortable, but let's embrace it, man. And let's bring about change in our country, man. That's what it's going to take, man. We got to have the tough conversations. We got to talk about it. We got to educate. We got to learn. And like I said earlier in this show, we do not discriminate. So we love everybody here in the DB room. We accept everybody. But we got to have these tough conversations, okay? So we're going to talk about that more later on the show because I got to get my guy Quandre Diggs' thoughts on that, okay? So like I said, man, we got a good show lined up tonight. I can't wait for you guys to hear from Quandre, man. So let's just jump right into it. I don't want to hold you guys long. I respect time. I love time, okay? So let's get right into it.
The Rob pressure coming after him as he releases, and it's intercepted by Diggs. And a quick turn from Irv Smith, and then he just gets blasted as Quandre Diggs comes up.
So once again, shout out to my guy Dave Keon, man, for putting these dope highlight films together of these guys, man. It saves me so much time. I really appreciate that, man. So, man, I've had the pleasure of knowing Quandre for some time now, man. I remember when the Lions drafted him. I reached out to Quandre, had a little inside connection, man. I reached out to him and, did my welcome to the DB room, right? Like I told you guys, I like to call the guys, welcome them to the room. And I remember hitting Quandre up and, he was ready to go, man. He was ready to come in, go to work. I can hear the excitement in his voice. And to be honest, going to work is what he did. You know what I'm saying? He came in, drafted in the 6th round out of the University of Texas. Wow, we'll talk about that. Quandre's had himself a heck of a career so far, man. Let's bring him out so we can talk to him and get a little deeper dive into who he is. So all my people, everybody, welcome my guy, my little brother, Quandre Diggs.
What's up, everybody?
What's good, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Just chilling at the crib, trying to enjoy some of this free time, man. We just finished up Zoom meetings today, so got a little bit more free time.
Good, man. How the Zoom meetings been going?
It's been solid. It's been different. You know what I mean? It's something that I'm not accustomed to. I think nobody accustomed to. You know what I mean? But it's kind of what we is in society right now. So we're just taking it in stride and just trying to get better.
It's crazy how technology has could you imagine going through this pandemic and what we've been going through without technology, bro?
Man, it would be
Like, can
awful.
you
You
imagine?
can imagine.
Wow, bro.
You wouldn't
It's
see anybody. None of that.
crazy, bro. Like, so crazy, man. But like I said, man, I like to respect your time, man. I like to respect my people time, man. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. We're gonna jump right into it. So like we were just talking about, man, the world has changed, you know. It's been a lot going on, you know, since back in March, you know, when the coronavirus outbreak started. And I know you are a homebody, you know what I'm saying? I know that. But like, how have you been dealing with quarantine, you and the family? You know what I'm saying? How y'all been hanging?
It's been cool. You know what I mean? It's definitely been different because you're always thinking in April. You know what I mean? When I get back to the season in January, I'm always thinking middle of April, I'm gonna have to go back to Seattle. So I try to get at least 3 quality months with the fam, and you know what I mean, just enjoy that time as much as possible. But when March rolled around and everybody was saying, "Oh, we might not be able to go back to OTAs. We might not be able to do this. You know, we might not be able to do that." So I kind of started kind of planning. You know, what I mean, start planning the days out where it's like, okay, I got to get some weight room equipment. I got to get a Peloton bike. I got to spend my days here with my daughter and you know teaching her as she's getting older. You know, she'll be 11 months tomorrow. So for me, that's kind of been how it's been. You know, I mean, me, my girlfriend, and my daughter, and my nephews have been up here for the last 2 months. So it's definitely been dope. It's been cool, and it's been a different kind of off season. I couldn't imagine doing it as a rookie.
Man, that's crazy, man. And like you brought up something that I was definitely gonna hit on because I know you're enjoying the extra time with your daughter, man. You had your daughter, you know, right before training camp started last year and didn't get to spend as much time with her. Then you had to take off for a whole season. And then the season was obviously crazy. And then to be able to come home and then have this happen, you know, get those extra months. I know I remember, you know, when the lockout happened and, you know, we was able to get that extra time at home. So I know you enjoying that, man. I know you enjoying that with the little baby girl.
No doubt, bro. It's a blessing because you know I was away from her for 5 6 months, and just being able to be home consistently for 6 months straight. You know what I mean? Waking up to her each morning, getting out of the bed, putting her to sleep, giving her baths. You know what I mean? Taking that time throughout the day. Our bond has definitely grown, and you know what I mean? It's cool when she actually does know, like, hey, that's my dad. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely enjoying those moments.
Man, that's so dope, man. Like the bond that you build with your kids, man. Dude, it's incredible, bro. And it only gets better as they get older. Trust me, man. It only gets better, man. But speaking on your daughter, man, you've been pretty vocal, you know, about not having your real dad around when you were a kid, you know, and wanting to be there for your daughter every like step of the way. You know what I'm saying? So like talk to me about like what does it mean to you, you know, to be able to be such a huge part of her life, man, cuz everybody don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean to you?
It means everything to me. I think it's my why. You know what I mean? When I wake up in the morning, I know why I got to go to these workouts. You know what I mean? I know why I got to get on these Zoom meetings and give 100% effort, even though we're over the computer. You know what I mean? So I just want the best life for her. You know what I mean? I don't want her to ever have to question who her father is. I don't never have to worry about her worrying about another man, you know, being her stepfather, even though there's nothing wrong with stepfather, because my stepfather took care of me. But you know, what I mean, I think that's my duty as a man, and I've had some great guys show me the ropes on how to be fathers. You know what I mean? My older brother, you, Slay. You know what I mean? I just been around different people that's been in this business that's been able to be great fathers also. And you know what I mean? I think I've learned a lot, and it's my responsibility to be the best father I can be.
Man, that's dope, man. And that's the good thing about it, man. Just being able to have, you know, good people in your life to lean on, to help, you know, to show you the way, man. That's the great thing about the league, man. That's why it's a fraternity. That was one of the reasons why another reason why I wanted to start this channel, man, just to bring guys together, man, just to create a safe space for us to just be able to talk and help each other, man, because we all deal with the same stuff. And, you know, you never know whose story can help you. And you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason, man. But let's backtrack some, man. You grew up in Angleton, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Tell me a little bit about Angleton and what it was like growing up in Angleton, Texas.
Small town living. You know what I mean? I'm a small town boy. Angleton, like 20,000 people, probably. Probably that's what it was when I was growing up, but it's probably grown a little bit. But for people not familiar, you know what I mean, Angleton's 35 minutes south of Houston. So I grew up closer to the Gulf of Mexico. But, you know what I mean, I was raised in my mom, my stepdad, my older brother, Quentin. And, you know what I mean, we grew up fine. You know what I mean? We grew up in a, you know what I mean, I wouldn't say the best part of town, but we were blessed. You know what I mean? I think that's what made us. That's what, you know what I mean, made us into the people we are today. But it was good. You know what I mean? I lived with my grandma until I was probably about 6, 7, and then moved back with my mom. And it was kind of different. You know what I mean? I was used to being, you know what I mean, at the house with my grandma all day, so I always had that attention all day. So
Right.
when my mom had to go to work in the summer, it's like, dang, I'm at the house by myself. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I would definitely say I'm a grandma and mama's boy. I think that's just kind of how I've been raised, and I enjoyed the small town living. You know what I mean? Everybody in the town knew each other. If I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, it'd get the word to get back to my mom, and I'll probably get in trouble. But
Right.
it was dope.
It was crazy because I was watching your Under the Helmet interview that you did with the Lions, and you talked about, you know, being from a small town and your mom being, you know, more popular than you and your brother, who we're going to talk about your brother in a sec, you know, but your mom was a star hooper, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, it was the same for me because my dad was a star football player. And when you're growing up in those small towns, you're referred to as their son, not your name. Oh, you such and such boy, you such and such his son or whatever, right? Like, what's that like growing up? What was that like for you? You know, say growing up in a small town, but having like that star parent.
It was cool. You know what I mean? Because I think my mom would go outside and I'd be shooting basketball sometimes. She'd come out there and she'd shoot. And, you know what I mean? She making shots, and I'm just like, dang. You know what I mean? I was like, dang, she making shots like that?
Right.
And she come out, she making shots, and then you go around town. And I remember growing up, I wanted to play basketball, and everybody was like, your mom was a star basketball player around here. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing on her. You know what I mean? And then they would just be like, yeah, your mom was a real athlete. You know what I mean? She's the real athlete of the family. I don't know if y'all gonna be serious or not. It was just crazy, you know what I mean? But everybody knew her, and you know what I mean? It just made it for me. It made it that much harder because I was following her footsteps and also following my brother's footsteps.
Right. And like you said, you know, I'm sure that was tough. So for those of you who don't know, you know, Quandre's older brother is Quentin Jammer.
With the fifth choice in the 2002 draft, the San Diego Chargers select Quentin Jammer, cornerback from the University of Texas.
My role model, older brother. The relationship that me and him have is unbreakable. It's just somebody that I've always wanted to be like, and somebody that I continue, you know, to strive to be. And I think I want to do everything he did. If I saw him, you know, riding the car, nodding his head to music, you know, I was nodding my head to music. I was doing the same things, you know. If he did something on the football field on Friday night, then I try to go do it, you know, in my little league game, or I try to go do it in the backyard. You know, everything he did, I wanted to do. It had something to do with football, but like, I always was like, man, when I get older, I hope things be like that.
Man, that must have been super cool, man. Just having an older brother, you know what I'm saying? Go to the league and you get that experience as a youngster, man. But like, talk to me about the pressure that you felt or how you felt as a little brother of an older sibling that made it to the pros, man.
I wouldn't even call it pressure. You know what I mean? I think for me, it was never pressure. It was more about me trying to live up to my standard. My standard was always to be is good or better than him. And I always tell him that, you know what I mean? I want to be better than you. I don't think I could say one time where I didn't think I would be better than him. You know what I mean? I always believe that. I still always believe that to this day. So I think I handled it well. You know what I mean? Of course, in town, everybody's like, oh, that's Jam, little brother. He got next. You know what I mean? So that was always there, and everybody expected me to kind of be the next star in the town. You know what I mean? Even though it was people before me, but I was Jam's brother. So it was just like, he got next. When he get up there, he gonna turn this thing around. He gonna get us winning games. He gonna go to Texas. He gonna go to the league. That was always the expectation for me. But I never looked at it as pressure. I always just looked at it as that's what I expect out of myself too. So y'all not putting that on my plate that I ain't ready to, you know what I mean? I ain't ready to take.
Right. And I mean, and that's cool. And like, that's definitely your personality, and that's definitely what you did, right? You didn't just settle on the success of your brother. You wanted to have your own success. And in doing so, you know what I'm saying, you work your way, or I don't know, you're going to tell me you became the top ranked corner in the nation in the class of 2011. Like, what was that like? Like, what did you do to, like, you know, was it 7-on-7 camps, or were you just killing it at Angleton as a quarterback? And like, you became the top corner, you know what I'm saying, having that older brother. And a lot of people, you know, would, you know, rely on his success, but you wanted to build your own, man. You build your own name in your own hometown. Like, what did that feel like? What did you do to become the top corner in the nation?
I think it was just what I did, you know what I mean, in the summers, what I did on the field when the season started. I think I was a little bit ahead of the game just because of the fact that I'm so in tune with football. You know what I mean? I watch so much football. I would watch games on Saturdays all day. Sunday, I'm watching games all day Sunday. You know what I mean? It's just like my brother will come on at 1 o'clock or whatever time they played in San Diego. I'm watching his games, but then I'm going to watch the 4 o'clock games, and then I'm going to watch Sunday night football. Then the next day I'm going to watch Monday night football. So, you know what I mean? It was just I'm watching so much ball. I'm taking this out to the game on Fridays, and it's like, can't nobody touch me out here. That's just how I felt.
Right.
And I went to a couple camps. I went to, like, the Baylor camp. But I went to the Baylor camp because I was trying to get my best friend, Henry Josie, off from Baylor. So I went to that camp, and they put me at corner, locked down everybody at the camp. And I was like, I'm not going to any more camps. I'm like, I don't need to. You know what I mean? I was getting letters. I'm balling. I think my sophomore year I had like 40 touchdowns.
40 touchdowns at quarterback?
Yeah, bro. I had like 30 rushing. No, I had like 35 rushing, a couple passing, and then I had a kick return.
Wow.
So I was just going crazy. You know what I mean? As a sophomore, I'm 15 years old, going crazy on the field. But it's just like, that's my expectation. I have been doing it since Little League. I did it in middle school. So it's like, man, can't nobody touch me out here on this field. I'm like that. And it wasn't like it was easy because I wasn't getting crazy carries a game.
Right.
I would average like 12, 13 carries a game. But it's like, we got 5 Division I running backs in the backfield.
Oh,
so it's like, I got to split these carries, but when I get my opportunity, I got to go crazy.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
40 touchdowns, bro? That's like 4. I mean, what you play in high school? I mean, unless you go to state, you playing, what, 10 games?
Yeah,
you go to playoffs, you play playoffs, you get 4 or 5 games if the farther you go. But, like, bro, that's like 3-4 touchdowns a game, bro.
Yeah, 13. We played 13 games, so I averaged at least 3 touchdowns a game.
Wow.
My first playoff game, though, GQ, I'm 15 years old. First playoff game. I remember this to the day. First playoff game. We got the ball. We on offense. Henry not playing. You know what I mean? This is our starting running back. He had hurt his leg or something, so he not playing. So I'm hyped. First play of the game, they don't kick it to me. They kick it out the end zone. So I get it, 20-yard line, go 80 for the first play of the game. I'm like, oh, can't nobody touch me. I went for 300 in my first playoff game in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy, bro. That's dope, though. That's dope, man. Wow. So, like, doing all that, balling like that, being a top-ranked corner, like, I'm sure you had, like, plenty of offers, you know what I'm saying? Plenty of offers coming out of high school. Like, what was your recruiting process like? And was there any question of whether you would go to UT or was that just like a given because of the family history, your brother, you know what I'm saying? Was it just like a given, I'm going to UT, or did you really enjoy the recruiting process and really like, you know, get into it?
I will say this. I will say I wish I would have enjoyed the recruiting process a lot more. I think for some schools, even though I had 25 offers or whatever like that from all the Division I schools around the country, I think it was a little bit of everybody expecting me to go to Texas. Like, oh, that's Jammer's brother. He's going to go to Texas. He's going to be there. So I'm not going to put too much time in. I'm going to offer him if something come up. But the crazy thing is, Texas was my last offer. So I went to Texas. I'm thinking growing up, I'm going to Texas. Like, what? That's no question. Well, when it came around to offer me, Texas didn't offer me. They said, mind you, like you said, I'm the number one corner. I'm the number one corner in the nation. I'm like the number 4 or 5 athlete on Rivals. And Texas don't even offer me. They saying, oh, you know what I mean, we want taller corners. We don't want the shorter corners. We want taller corners, and we don't know what position you're going to play. And for the people that don't know, my brother going to hate me for saying it, but my brother had a bad rep at Texas. He didn't want to go to class. They could never find him.
Really?
So they like, well, you can't come in here thinking you're going to do that, but you're not going to be going to class. We can't find you for practice. So I don't know if we're going to be ready to offer you. You know what I mean? That's what they were saying. So luckily, my brother's college roommate, Major Applewhite, was still on the staff at Texas. And he's in Mac Brown's ear, and he's just like, hey, we need to offer him. Like, this guy's the best player in the state, the best player in the greater Houston area. Like, how are we not going to offer him? He's a Texas legacy. Everybody's offering. So at this time, they didn't offer me. So I'm like, cool. I can go to Bama. You know what I mean? Bama, that's when they get hot. Nick Saban calling me, Bo Davis calling me. I'm like, it's a given. I can go to Bama. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to take a visit to Bama. I'm going to go to Bama, and I'm going to commit to Bama, and that's going to be the end of the story. Texas missed out, and I'm going to make them pay. You know how I think.
Right. I mean, you've been thinking that way your whole life.
Right. So I'm like, I'm going to make them pay. So it comes around, I'm like telling my mom, telling my brother, I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to just go to Bama. Like, Texas want to play around. Like, cool, I'm going to go to Bama. We're going to get it handled. We're going to win us a national championship, and I'm going to go to the league from Bama. They put out DBs. Well, Texas ended up calling, and, you know, they had been talking to my brother back and forth, and then they ended up offering. So my mom was like, well, I wouldn't be able to come to all the games in Alabama. And, of course, my brother's like, well, I want you to go to Texas, you know what I mean? And then I got Major, who I've been knowing since I was 7 years old, in my ear, like, come on, bro. Like, I put my neck on the line for you. Like, we really want you here. You know, we're going to get it all worked out. So I ended up committing to Texas, but I wish I would have took off, followed my officials. And, you know what I mean? But I will say I'm a proud alumni. I love my school. It's just, as a 16, 17-year-old, you know what I mean? You always thinking like, dang, I should have took them official visits just to see what everything else is like.
Heck yeah.
But I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
I mean, I will say, you know what I'm saying, following, you know, a few Texas, you know, alumni, you guys are very proud of your school, and, you know, great history there, right? So, you know, you see and you hear some of the discussions about, you know, colleges that's considered DBU, I guess you want to say. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got the LSUs, you got Florida State trying to throw their name in there, Ohio State. And generally, the top DB at those schools are getting, like, you know, first round considerations, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like your size or like something, you know, has something to do with like why you wasn't like that top corner on the board, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that? Or did that put a chip on your shoulder, you know, going through the draft process for you? Because you had a good career at UT.
Right. I think it definitely put a chip on my shoulder even more. Now, that's adding to the chip that I had from Texas offering me late, and I held that grudge all the way through college. So, and I always hold that grudge. That ain't going nowhere. But I think that definitely put a chip on my shoulder, you know what I mean, not being one of the top guys, because I think my numbers, and, you know what I mean, you always want to go off numbers. You always want to do this, you know what I mean. my numbers stacked up with anybody in the country. Now, did my height and my arms and, my 40 time at the combine, did it stack up? No, but if you put on the film, I was very successful at Texas. I didn't end up in the record books for nothing. I'm in the record books for everything that had to do with a DB. So I would say that I felt like my size and my speed at the combine, which I'm not a great tester. Right. I think that definitely has something to do with it. But I ended up in a great place. So I was mad that I wasn't, the top round guy, but I ended up in a great room. I ended up with, you, Rasheem, Slay. So as for a 6th round pick, I ended up in a perfect situation. Did I have to make the team? Yeah, but I've been going against the odds my whole life. So at the end of the day, it was just another challenge for me. So it made me mad, and I'm still mad about it, but I ended up in a perfect position.
Man, this is so funny, man, because this is what you call knowing your teammates. So just to let you guys know, I don't really tell these guys none of the questions that I'm going to ask them, right? None of them, and I sit down and I write out questions that I want to ask the guys to get to know more, know how certain things made people feel. And in doing that, to kind of get the questions and stuff in order, you try to think about, okay, what possibly could be his answer to this question, right? And so then you say, okay, well, this right here will be my next question off of that. And honestly, bro, every question that I've asked you, you have led right into the next question that I wanted to ask you. Everything. The next question that I have for you is, you're drafted to the Detroit Lions, 6th round. I know that was not the round you wanted to go in, but how did you balance your emotions of being happy that you achieved a lifelong dream, obviously making it to the league, but not being happy that it was in the 6th round?
I think that was kind of the perfect not getting too high, not getting too low situation. You got to stay even keel. And like you mentioned earlier with my brother, he was the first person to talk to me during that whole day. When everything's going on, he's trying to keep me calm. Mm-hmm. He's trying to give me a drink, like, hey, take a drink. You need to calm down. But just having him there, it made everything so much sweeter. He was there in my ear, like, don't worry about it. Your chance gonna come. You're gonna make it happen. I promise you. I know that. I know you. And I remember getting that call from Detroit, and I remember the number coming up. I think what they area code 313, right?
Yeah, 313.
The 313 area code comes. So I'm like, what is Allen Park? I'm like, Allen Park, Michigan. What is that? So get the call. I think it's Tom LeWan on the phone or Martin Mayhew, one of them. And then they get on the phone. And then, as you know, Coach Caldwell get on the phone, TA get on the phone, mm-hmm. and T.O. gets on the phone. So Tony Odom, which is our corners coach, and I had a relationship with T.O. So it's like we had been talking all the time doing Combine, Senior Bowl, and doing all the process. And when I get on the phone, he like, congrats, we ready, we can't wait to have you, can't wait to get to work. He trying to explain what my role gonna be, all that.
Right.
I'm like, hey, I got something. I got something to prove. And he was like, whoa, like, hey, just enjoy it, Enjoy that you got drafted in 6th round. I'm like, look, coach, I respect it, but I ain't trying to hear it. I'm like, I got something to prove. I'm like, ain't no way all those people better than me. Ain't no way. And my brother, and I just remember telling them, getting off the phone, and my brother look, bro, just calm down. He was like, you got your foot in the door. He's like, you got one foot in the door. He's like, man, it's your chance to go in there and put both feet in the door and walk in like it's your house. So for me, that's kind of how it was to me. I had looked up the depth chart. I had looked up who the DBs on the roster. You know what I mean?
Right,
and
right.
I'm like, I'm finna go and compete. That's just what I'm about to do. And that's how it happened.
And so, bro, this is freaking awesome, bro. So this right here, your answer is gonna lead us to, because it's a great point, man. and your answer is going to lead us to our first fan question. So I have fans send in questions for a chance to win an autographed photo, but they get to send in a question that they want to ask you, okay? And so they send in questions, and I pick, try to pick 3. This week I only picked 2 because some of the questions was whack, you know what I'm saying? I try to tell people I don't want to hear questions about like, do you want to leave Detroit? Like, bro, them not questions that we want to talk about. We want to talk and get to know our players, all that good stuff, right? And so the first question that leads us to the fan question segment. So we're gonna get that going. The first question is from Carl Williams, and he says he's our first winner. He's actually going to be on the show next week because he was the guy that won. I did a United Way virtual hangout thing, and he actually won it. He donated through the United Way, and he actually won. And so he's going to be on the show next week talking and telling his story. He got some cool things going on. But his question was, is being a sixth round pick your biggest motivation?
I would say it's part of it. I think it's a variable of things that is my biggest motivation. Not getting off from Texas early. That's part of it. Me being a 6th round draft pick, that's part of it. People criticizing my height and, my speed, that's part of it. I think my biggest motivation has always been those type of things, but I think my biggest motivation to top all that would just be making my mom proud. That's always been my biggest motivation because I talk to her every day. And every day I just want to hear her smile. I want to hear her voice. I want to hear her happy. I want to be able to know that I can take care of my mom. She did everything for me and my brother. So that's always been my biggest motivation. Proving people wrong and making my mom happy. And that's just kind of how I've always lived. And that's kind of what wakes me up and gets me grinding.
Man, that's great that you say, like, making your mom happy, man, because, like you say, you're the second one. Your brother done it, and for you to, grow up the way you grew up and still have that want to, I just want to make my mama proud, man. People don't realize that right there drives you, man. Like when you think about mama, man, bro, it's hard to let mama down, man. The people that let mama down, man, that was one of the biggest things for me, bro. Just you want to make your mama proud, want them to be able to say that they're proud of you and they, love watching you play. I used to always feel like I played a little harder, when my mama was there. You know what I'm saying? I used to always feel like I played a little harder when my mama was there, man. Golly. So we're going to go to question 2 from our fan, okay? We're going to go to question 2. It's going to take a little bit, right? So Bino Rodriguez is our second winner. Bino Rodriguez, okay? All you guys that win, make sure you email me or email me infoclicksmedia so that we can get your address and I can get your photos sent out to you. But he said, how did you feel getting those first interceptions after your fresh departure from Detroit?
It felt good, man. I'm kind of, and this is just me personally, I'm at the stage now where, I'm kind of over the whole Detroit deal. I'm done talking about Detroit. I'm done. So, but it felt really good. I remember getting that interception. I was coming off a hamstring. A lot of people don't know that I played through that hamstring. My last game in Detroit. I go to Seattle and I got to sit out 2 weeks because they said that the hamstring was worse than what they thought it was. But getting those interceptions, bro, it was awesome. I remember the first one I got in San Francisco. I remember walking up to the camera and I'm just facing the camera and I'm like, they said I was done. They said I was trash. You know what I mean? That's what they said. They said I was trash. They said that, Detroit got rid of me because I was lacking. I lost it. I'm like, how can I lose it in 6 months? I'm like, come on, I'm 26 years old. I
Right,
ain't
right.
lost it. You know what I mean? So like
That
I'm
probably
yelling
added
at
to
the
that
camera.
chip. That probably added to that chip.
Exactly. So I'm getting them picks. I'm like, yeah, I'm finna make them feel me. I want everybody around the league to know how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? So I get the one against San Fran. I get a fumble and a fumble recovery against Philly, and then I go get 2 picks against the Rams. And it's like they come in bunches. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they come in bunches. I'm making the plays I'm supposed to be making, and it's like all I did was go make the plays that I was supposed to make, but I'm just playing the same game that I was playing in Detroit. I just didn't have those same opportunities.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wasn't getting the long throws, or I wasn't getting the tips, and you know what I mean? I wasn't getting those opportunities because they had me doing something that I didn't want to be doing.
Right.
And it's just like when I get those opportunities, I go somewhere where I'm happy. I go somewhere where they just let me play ball, and boom, you know what I mean? The stuff starts happening. So I felt great. It made me get my confidence back in myself where it's like, man, they can't touch me still.
Right. And like, you know, I played, you know, in Houston and I played in Detroit, you know, and we all the fans across America, you know, we see Seattle, you see the fan base, you see the stadium, you know, speaking to somebody that plays in that stadium, is it as loud and is it as crunk as it looks and as what people talk about?
No question. No question. I remember my first game against Tampa, and I wasn't even playing. I'm just on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to one of my good friends that went to Texas with me. He was on our practice squad at the time. And it's like 4th down against Tampa. I couldn't hear anything he was saying. He had the little ear deal in trying to get the call.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, what's the call? And he's talking and I can't hear him. It's really like that. Like it's super loud, but it's a super like fun environment. You know what I mean? I remember running out the tunnel my first time doing player introduction, and they got me third to last. I'm like, bro, I just got here. Like, why would y'all have me third to last? Like, I figured I'd be one of the first ones to run out.
Right.
I'm third to last, and I run out, and all I remember is like, and I've dreamed of this my whole life, like running out of a player introduction because I never did it in Detroit.
Right. Right.
So once I finally got the opportunity, all this stuff that I dreamed of as a kid, I'm like, all the stuff I say I'm gonna do, man, I just kind of froze up and just ran out and like. And like it was just crazy, you know what I mean? But it was also like that stadium, that energy, that vibe. You know what I mean? You don't lose that feeling. And that's what it would suck if we don't have fans this year. I won't get to experience that.
Wow, man, that will suck, man. I really hope that, you know, some kind of way. I don't know how they're gonna do it, bro, because this corona, man, this COVID is real, man. Hey, man, it's a real thing. But I think it'd be weird, you know, not having fans. Even when, you know, we doing those practices and you have joint practices. I know it's a lot of people happy that they canceled out them joint practices this year. But even when you having those joint practices and, you know, you got a couple fans out there, it make those practices even better. When you have them practices and training camp, when there's no fans out there, it's like, oh my gosh, bro. So the fans definitely bring a different touch to the game, man. So I know we got to give a big shout out to the fans, man. So let's bring this all back together, man. You're in the league now. You balling. You know, you've been in Detroit. You've been in Seattle. You know, switch from corner to safety, man. Tell me how you felt, you know, when you had to make that switch. And, you know, I had Kareem on. Did you know that was like something that I probably would be a safety just because of your physical play, man? We've seen some massive hits by you, bro.
For me, I remember coming out for the draft and I was telling people, like, I'm versatile. You know what I mean? I can play safety if I need to, but nobody had seen film on it. And I remember when I got to Detroit, first it was Alan Williams, which is our safety coach. He was like, man, you're going to be a safety. You're going to be a safety. And then you got in my ear and was like, hey, man, you are exactly the same player as me. I came in as a nickel. I came in as a nickel corner, played nickel, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I moved to safety. And he was like, I see that for you. You was like, I see that for you. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. We see that. But me knowing me knowing you, because you were in Houston and I grew up in Houston, it's like I remember you at the Texans doing it. You know what I mean? I remember you playing corner. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang, that's crazy that he see that for me. And then as the time goes, you know what I mean, as a nickel, I remember my first year at nickel, I probably played like 35% of the snaps, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
My second year, I ended up getting hurt. And then, you know what I mean, I was still chomping at the bit a little bit because I'm like, man, I want to be playing every down. But then my third year, I go into camp, and I remember we had brought DBs in. You know what I mean, they bringing corners in. They drafted Agnew. They brought DJ Hayden in. So I remember in camp, they started getting me a little bit of reps at safety. They're like, we want to see if you could do it. So I remember at safety, I got in that against, I forgot who we was playing, maybe the Giants or something in preseason. They let me get like 3 safety reps.
Yeah.
And they let me get like 3 safety reps in the preseason game. And I made a tackle, and then I was supposed to blitz one time, but Chuck messed me up. So that kind of, but like, I remember like getting the taste. I'm like, I can see everything up here. Like, this is dope.
Right.
But I always watched you in everything you did. You know what I mean? So like, when we had to play palms, or we had to play any of our cover 4 or our cover 3 or our man stuff, I was like, well, let me see what GQ doing, because if I watch him, then I can learn safety like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just learn safety, but I ain't gonna tell nobody I'm learning it though. But I'm gonna know the defense. You know what I mean? So I was learning it, but I was learning on the slick. And this was my first, second, and third year. Well, it comes around, we come back from Thanksgiving break. I had been playing at nickel. I feel like I'm having my career year at nickel. You know what I mean? First game of the year, play against Larry Fitzgerald. Yep. I got 3 pass breakups on Larry Fitzgerald. He got 1 catch on me. Yep. I'm like, oh, I'm back. So second week, ball against New York. So I'm balling. So I'm having a career year at nickel. And then I remember we played Minnesota. We lose on Thanksgiving. I go home. And then I was always, if y'all don't know, man, I literally mimicked everything GQ did. So GQ left on Friday on Thanksgiving, and he came back on Monday. I did the same thing. I'm like, well, that's my leader. If my leader doing it, well, I'm going to do it too. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. So GQ was like, I'm going to come back Monday morning. And then we had to be in the building at 2. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do that too. Like, what? Like, why not spend the extra day at home? So I remember getting back, getting my lift in, and then I'm in the locker room chilling, and I get a call from my corners coach, and he like, hey, Diggs, come up here. I need to holler at you. I'm like, oh, snap. What I did? You never want to get them calls. Y'all.
Right.
So as I'm getting on the elevator, I see our D coordinator, Terrell Austin. And he like, hey, you talked to Tony yet? I'm like, you know too? Like, hold on, what's going on? So I go up there, and T.O. like, hey, Nino, we think about putting you at safety. I'm like, hold on, what? He like, yeah, don't you want to play every down? You know what I mean? We want to get our best players on the field. He's like, Tavon's out for the season, so we just want to get our best players on the field. I'm like, oh, shoot, cool. Like, I'm with it. He's like, you nervous? I'm like, nah, I'm good. So we go out to practice, and they like, you at safety today. So I'm beside you. I'm like, GQ, right. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Line me up and just tell me what to do. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was great having you, because it was just like, even when I was at nickel, you would still help me get lined up, tell me what to do. So I go to safety, and our communication got to get stronger. Not saying our communication wasn't, but like me and you lining up together, it's like they see the same people out on the field. You know what I mean? They see the same people. You at 27, I'm at 28. So it's like we both versatile. We both can guard tight ends. Both can blitz. We both can play in the middle.
And so both can intercept the ball. Ooh, right. And that's the most important thing, getting them turnovers. So I just remember, you know what I mean, we going to play Baltimore, and I'm nervous all week. And that week, I don't know why TA and them thought it was cool to put in BTF, blister formation, and all that, AFC. The week I'm going to safety. I'm like, bro, I don't know none of this, bro. Like, I'm just trying to learn. And my first game, I ball. And I'm like, bro, I'm never going back to nickel. I'm never going to go back to nickel, bro. Like, I want to play safety.
And from then on, that's when I knew I was going to be a safety. I told everybody I didn't want to play nickel anymore. I wanted to be a safety. I started getting interceptions. That was my first interceptions at safety.
Right.
I'm never going back.
Never.
So it's kind of where it went.
Man, that's crazy, man. Like I remember all that vividly, bro. I remember all that vividly. And the cool thing about it, man, and the journey that you went on, like you said, which was the same as mine. Started out as a nickel, playing some corner, always probably been eyed and seen as the guy that's gonna be a safety. When you can learn the game from the inside out, you know what I'm saying? When you play the nickel, you have to learn the run fits. You have to learn the linebacker drops. You have to learn that stuff, right?
Right.
When you play corner, you know what it feels like to be isolated on an island. Like, you know that. So now when you get to come to safety, all those experiences wrapped up into one. Okay, these are my run fits. These are, the communications that I need to make with my linebackers. This is what I need to do for my corners because I know this coverage right here got my guy here feeling all alone. So I know I got to show a little bit just to give him a little presence because I know what that feel like. When that nickel got a hard down, oh, man, this play right here hard on my nickel because you've been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? You played the dime. So when you understand all that stuff, it just helps you communicate better on the field. Just helps you play better. You see stuff differently. Like, I loved my journey, bro. And like you said, man, when I saw you come in, I told you, like I said, and I was never a hater. You can tell anybody. I was never a hater. I was giving information to everybody. I said, hey, man, you're going to be just like what I did. You're going to play nickel, and you're going to be the next. When I'm gone, you going to be doing exactly what I did. You go be a safety. You go be catching these picks, and they move you to safety. You ended the last 3 games? 3 picks? Something like that.
Well, like the last 4 games. In 4 games, I had 3 picks. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I knew that the whole time, man. So I'm glad that for one, you came in with a good attitude and you just worked, man. You came into a great room and you worked, played your role, man. And it all worked out for you, man. So I'm happy for you in that sense, right? But let's talk about something else, right? You got some nephews that, I know you're close to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got some nephews that you're close to. You had a great leader and experience giver, with your brother, right? Was able to, show you. I mean, you came into the locker room, with Phillip Rivers and, you seeing Eric Welder, all those guys, when you were a little kid, getting that experience. Do you feel the pressure to, like, give that experience to your nephews and be like that big brother to them like your brother was to you?
Oh, of course. You know what I mean? I think that's always important. I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, Abby, which and we were just talking. I feel like for me, it's my responsibility to pay that back to them because all the good things that my brother did for me, they deserve that too. You know what I mean? They don't need to be treated any differently than I was treated when I was coming up, when my brother was in the league. And I want them to be able to experience that. You know what I mean? It's cool for them to know Glover Quinn. It's cool for them to know Darius Slay. It's cool for them to be able to meet DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. Like, that's cool. I feel like for a kid, they need to be able to experience that. You know what I mean? Not every kid gets to experience that, but it's cool that they in that position where they can do that. You know what I mean? So I owe it to them. You know what I mean? I owe it to them to be a great role model. I owe it to them to be a father figure, not their father, but a father figure to them and somebody that they could talk to, because I was always able to call my brother and talk to him whenever I needed to. If I needed something, he always took care of it for me. And that's my responsibility for them. You know what I mean? My brother don't want anything from me. He just want me to continue to be good to his boys. And that's why they've been living with me for 2 months. And it's like, this is dope. You know what I mean? This is what I did. This is what I did with my brother. Like, I got to stay at his house in the summer, see him go to OTAs, be around LaDainian Thomas and Phillip Rivers and you know what I mean, Eric Weddle, Antonio Cromartie, guys like that, Sean Phillips, Sean Merriman. Like, I was around all those guys. Right, Gates. You know what I mean? I'm around all those guys. And they know me. They like, oh, that Jam little brother right there, he going to be the truth in football. You know what I mean? Because I'm running around the field. They throwing me the ball. Like, I expect it to be there with them. So, like, that's my nephews. That's how my nephews look at it. They like, man, I get to be around Slay. Like, they text Slay, making jokes on Slay. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool for them. You know what I mean? That's cool for them. And I'm blessed to be in that position. I just want the best for them.
Man, that's dope, man. Like, you can't put a price on that, man. That's invaluable experience for those kids, man. It was invaluable for you. I think that was one of the reasons why, you know, you were able to come into the league, and although you had that chip on your shoulder, you was able to come in and act like and feel like I belong, because, I mean, you had been there your whole life, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, you had been around those guys. So when you're that little and you've been around the LTs and the Phillip Rivers and all those guys, you're not really starstruck when you get into the league, you know what I'm saying, around. And then obviously playing at Texas, I'm sure all you guys come back. So being around a bunch of pros there, when you come in, you feel like, I mean, this is what I'm supposed to be. Like, what else do you guys expect, man? So it's good that.
Except when you line up in front of Calvin on your first day of practice. I ain't feel like I was supposed to be there.
Man, bro, I'm gonna try to get Calvin in the DB room, man. I'm gonna see if I can get Calvin in just to talk to Calvin, man, and see how he doing, because he was definitely a different animal, bro. Like he was different, bro. But
no question.
On a more serious note, man, like your nephews, they're young. Heck, we young. You know, we both young black men, man. And just after seeing all this stuff going on, bro, like every day we're seeing all types of police brutality, man, the social injustice that's going on in our country, man. It's real strong right now. And, you know, I even took some time off because I just didn't feel like, you know, doing this show was what we need to be doing at that moment. But then I started to feel like, you know what, we need to have a platform to talk about what's going on and to be able to educate people and to fight for, you know, the change that we want to see, man. So, you know, you seeing all this stuff, man. I've been seeing your stuff that you're putting on your IG, man. Something that I guess the University of Texas, y'all put a statement out. You know, how you feeling about, you know, all this stuff that's been going on, man, and you know, what are your thoughts heading into the season? This big ordeal about kneeling, not kneeling, people doing this. You know, how you feeling about that stuff, man?
You know, I mean, as a young black man, and my responsibility is to continue to teach other black people and, you know, I mean, white people and, you know, any other races, to just let them know, you know what I mean, how we feel sometimes. You know what I mean? I think as a black man, I think sometimes we hold our feelings in sometimes, and we put up bars and we don't want to let people know what's going on in our life. But I think it's time. You know what I mean? I think it's time for everybody to realize what we've been going through for so long, what we've had to experience, you know what I mean? What we've called the norm for us, because for us, I remember growing up, it was always like, oh, 5-0 coming, you know what I mean? Make sure you ain't outside. You know what I mean? It's like, so I think that's always been the norm for us, but people might have not known that. And it's crazy because my nephews, they live in the suburbs. You know what I mean? They're suburban kids, but as mixed kids, you know what I mean, they're looked at as black individuals, black kids. And even for them, you know what I mean, they live in the suburbs, they're still scared when, you know, I get pulled over or their mom gets pulled over or their dad gets pulled over. You know what I mean? So that's not the world that we should be living in. I feel like we should be so far past that, you know what I mean, this shouldn't even be a problem in this day and age. And, you know what I mean, with people kneeling, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I always understood the message. I think everybody that had some sense has always understood the message.
Right.
People that wanted to understand the message always understood the message. Right. It was the people that didn't want to understand the message, didn't want to look at it for reality, and didn't want to look at it as a black person's point of view that didn't understand it. You know what I mean? You got Cap kneeling with a former Green Beret beside him.
Right.
A guy that's in the military that I know that would take every summer to go over to Afghanistan and Iraq and go fight for this country. You know what I mean? I remember Nate would text me. He would Twitter DM me at 4:00 American time, but it's probably daytime there. But he's just saying how he's up because, you know what I mean, they in fights. But he's defending the country, but he's got to come back to play football in the fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got a guy that's advised him to kneel, and he doesn't think it's disrespectful. So why should you feel like it's disrespectful? You know what I mean? I know not everybody in the military feel like it's the respectful thing to do, but when you got a former Green Beret that's in his corner, what makes you think you haven't fought in a war for us? You know what I mean? You haven't went to Afghanistan. You haven't went to Iraq. So what makes you think that you can say, oh, no, that's not right. He's disrespecting the flag and disrespecting the military. Well, you wasn't even in the military.
Right.
Yeah, you might have family members that was in the military, but you're not in the military. That's like me getting offended if I didn't make it to the NFL about something that my brother was in the NFL, but I didn't make it. Why should I be offended about something that I ain't had no business dealing with?
Right.
So I just think we got to do better as a country. You know what I mean? I think the police brutality has been going on for too long, and I think as athletes, I think as people with high and major platform, we got to continue to let our voice be heard. I've been saying this from the jump. We can't let this be a 1 month thing or 2 month thing. We have to make this thing be an everyday deal for however long it takes to get this thing fixed, because that's the only way it's going to work. You know,
Right.
We got to continue using our voices. We got to put more into our Black communities, and that starts with us also. You know what I mean? Of course, the government has to do more, and they got to give us that opportunity to do more. But you know what I mean? I think Black athletes, Black entertainers, we got to do more for our community, because our community is the ones that's usually hurting. And as a Black man, it's our responsibility. I mean, as a Black father, you know what I mean? It's our responsibility to be better parents to our kids, because we all know statistics about, you know what I mean, Black families and dads leaving the Black families and,
Right.
you know, single mothers having to take care of it. But I think it's our job as Black men to step up and take responsibility to be better fathers, better parents to our kids, so we can give them the opportunity to have a 2-parent home, and, you know what I mean, we can bring income in the house and kind of get out of poverty.
Right, man.
But,
I feel like that's where it starts, man. It starts at home, man. Having present fathers, and you know, to hear some of the stories and some of the things, and you know, there's some people out there, man, that this is what they do. The way you play football, man, there's some people out there that they're on the ground, man. They're working, and every single day, this is what they do, man. They fight for the rights of the people, man. But like some of the things that you see, man, it's just like, wow, bro. Like I never would have thought that in 2020 we would still be living like this. And what makes it even worse is now everybody has a cell phone. So
right.
everybody has a camera and you get to see everything. And, you know, if you're one of those people that can see everything that's going on and not have anything to say, you know, people used to feel like, well, I don't know what to say, so I'm just not going to say anything. And now, you know, being called out on that, as far as your silence is basically saying more than what you could possibly say, because by not saying up, it makes us feel like you're okay with what's going on. And
Right.
if you're okay with what's going on, then you're probably part of the problem, man. Like, and I hope the NFL get behind it, man. You know, it's gonna take some big time changes, man. You know, I posted something on my Instagram the other day from Vic Fangio saying he didn't feel like, you know, there was racism in the NFL. And I'm sitting there like, you know, how can you say that? We only have 3 black head coaches, 2 black GMs. And I had some fans like message me and was like, well, that doesn't mean that there's racism. I'm like, well, what is it then? You know, one guy tried to tell me, you know, well, maybe the white coaches coach better. I'm like, you sitting here telling me that out of 32 teams, 29 of the white guys are better coaches than the black guys? Like, come on, bro. Like, that's just not facts, man. That's just not facts. It's easy to look at it.
If that was the case, they wouldn't be trying to put in these minority rules, these
Right.
only rules. Because if it wasn't the case, you know what I mean, if the numbers didn't back it, you know what I mean, the NFL wouldn't be trying to put in new loony rules where we got to give teams a third-round pick if they hire a minority
Right.
coach. Like,
What kind of
come on, man.
mess is that, bro? Like, so that's all crazy to me, man. It's all crazy to me. That's definitely. But when you think about the owners of these teams, all the owners of these teams are older white men or white women who have been married to white men, and that is who they want to run their team. Is no way around it. Like, that is who they want. Every now and then you'll get a black man that they'll give a job to, and at the first sign of whatever, they take it away from him just to say, well, he had a job. I mean, Steve Wilkes gets hired in Arizona. He's fired after 1 year. And, I'm going to say it because this is my channel. I can say what I want to say. Coach Caldwell got fired for going 9-7.
Right.
9-7. Matt Patricia has won 9 games in 3 years, and he get another chance. Come on, man. Just saying. I'm just saying, man. So, like I said, bro, we gotta keep the conversation going, man, because it means a lot. Like I say, I got kids. I got 3 young black boys, and having to have those conversations with them about this is what you do when you see the police, and this is what you do, when you get pulled over. Like, it's crazy that we're having to have these conversations with our kids, and they don't even know what's going on. They just know what they see on TV. They see the police, and they start to develop their own feelings. So being able to talk to them about, hey, not all police are bad, but there's some that are bad. And unfortunately for us, they don't really announce themselves as, hey, I'm a good cop. I'm not here to hurt you. A lot of times, you just never know who you're going to run into, man. So we definitely got to keep this conversation going. Definitely got to keep it going, man. So I appreciate your thoughts on it. Let's keep filling up our social medias, man, educating people. People got questions about it. Let's have answers, man. Let's talk. I said earlier, we got to have the uncomfortable conversations. That's the only way we're going to grow. People got to get out of their comfort zone. And that's kind of it, bro. So I'm gonna look, man, and see what we got going on in the comments, man. You've been great, bro. You've been great, man. It's 8:00, man, in Central Time. So this is kind of how long I want the show to be, man. Be respectful of your time. You gave me an hour. Where really, I called you at 6:15, man. So, I want to be respectful of your time, man. But I also want to make sure that we hit some of the fans that's in the comment. We had people talking earlier. Let's see what we got here. If anybody don't have any questions, man, like I said, I don't like just keeping people on, like just shooting the breeze, man. We talk about what we talk about. We give the people these nuggets. We give the people this info, man, and we move on, bro. You got a daughter. You got a girlfriend at the house. I got kids. Let's see what we got.
And me and you, we talk anyway. So.
Shoot, yeah, man. It's been good, though, man. Like I said, I like to put these stories out there, man, because there's so many people that need to hear that because they have an older brother or they have another somebody, and they may be feeling left out. They may feel less than because their older brother is better, and they need to hear, hey, man, this is how I approached it. I enjoyed the situation. I enjoyed the experience. And, hey, I always I'm going to outdo you. I'm going to be better than you. Like, I'm not going to settle just because you are successful. You know what I'm saying? So we got one question from Believe the Hype. He say, how was your faith a part of your football career?
I think for me and GQ, he probably can attest to this. Growing up in a small town, growing up with my grandmother, the church was always instilled in me. I remember as a kid, I used to help my grandmother clean the church on Fridays. And she would give me $20 to go clean the church, help her clean the church. So I went to church, Bible study, choir rehearsal, usher meetings, all that. I went to all that. So I was instilled in the church. Still to this day, I read the Bible every night. As you guys go to my Instagram, I post something every night. from my Bible readings. And I feel like in college I kind of got away a little bit, but when I was able to get back in the league, you know what I mean? When I was able to get in the league, I was able to get back into it in Detroit. And, you know, we had a great guy in Dave, and Dave kind of reinstilled it back into me about, you know what I mean, getting back in the Bible, learning about who you are, learning about Jesus, you know what I mean, just learning those things. And it was great, you know what I mean, to have Rasheem Mathis and, you know, James Ahedebo and Josh Wilson and GQ, you know what I mean, had those guys that's so deep in the faith also, where it was easier for me to go in those meetings and be able to go into those Bible studies or go into those chapels and able to let my guard down and just let everybody know, you know, man, how much faith means to me. And I think my faith will always be first in my life.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I know faith has been a huge part of everybody's life, man. Hopefully, you know, especially these athletes, you see them every day, man. They're praying. It's hard. It's hard to go through this life, man, and all the things that we go through and deal with, and not have faith, man. You got to believe in something. So that's good. I know I see him every night on our Instagram. I've had his channels up all interview. You can follow him on Instagram at QDiggs6. Follow him on Twitter at Nino. At Nino. Tell me about Nino, man. Hold on. That's my question, man. Tell me about Nino. Where that come from?
Man, I think for me, man, New Jack City has always been like one of my favorite movies growing up. And, you know what I mean? I think, of course, I'm not in the hood, you know, selling drugs and all that, but it was just like Nino Brown was just flashy. He was cool, you know what I mean? He had the swagger to him, you know what I mean? It was just kind of how he controlled things. And that was cool to me. That was always cool with me. And it was just like, as I got older, I'm like, you know what I mean? I got swag, you know what I mean? I got some swagger. I control stuff, you know what I mean? Back in my town, I'm the man where I'm at, you know what I mean? So for me, I think it was just like, dang, Nino, that's me, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna be Nino Brown, I ain't gonna be, you know what I mean? Nino Diggs, that's me, but like Nino, I think that just kind of stuck with me. And, you know what I mean? Even in the league, you know what I mean? My DB coaches started calling me that. And, you know what I mean? My teammates started calling me that. You know what I mean? So it was just like, hey, this sticking. So it kind of stuck a little bit, and that's just kind of where it came from, New Jack City. I mean, Nino Brown.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, like I said, if you want to follow him on the social media platforms, he's very active. Instagram, Twitter. Matter of fact, he was telling me I need to start a Twitter. I think I am going to start a DB Room Twitter. For those of you who don't follow the DB Room on Instagram, make sure you go to do that. All the updates, things that's going on the channel. Quandre, man, I don't want to take any more of your time, man. I appreciate you, man, making your appearance in the DB Room, man. So this is how it's going to work, bro. And I'm going to try. During the season, you know how Deion Sanders on NFL Network do, like, you ball, you get the call?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to probably go live, you know, maybe that 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock window after those first games.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, that after the second games. And just to kind of get you, it'll be the same way. Hit the link, come in, and give the fans some of that experience of what it's like after a game, getting on the bus, you're tired, but you got a ball to get the call, bro. I got to come up with a different slogan. I can't say what Deion say. I love Deion. I'm gonna try to get Deion in the room too. You know what I'm saying? Got to get truth in here. But I love doing this, man. I'm glad that you was able to come in, man, and give the fans what they wanted, man. I hope they took something from it. Like I said, I'm not gonna take up any more of your time, man. I know you got a little daughter. Thank you for coming in. Let's give Quandre a round of applause.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, big bro, always.
Man, good luck to you, man. Stay safe. You know, hopefully you guys get to go back and play, man. And, you know, we'll get you back in the DB room, talk some film. Like I said, I like breaking down film and talking football on this channel. So hopefully we can get you in, man. Talk about some of these great plays, these big hits that you've been putting out, man, and have a little more fun, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. So, guys, let me disconnect Quandre. All right, so I got one more thing I want to talk about real quick. The guests for next week. Make sure you get your questions in, okay? So if you wasn't on the stream earlier, we had Carl Williams, who won the fan question this week, and we had Bino Rodriguez. So if those guys are in the chat, make sure you email me at info@clicksmedia. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. info@clicksmedia@gmail.com. Email me so I can get your name and address of where I need to send your pictures. And for the ones for next week, I'm planning on having my guy, the first non-DB, Mr. Golden Tate. Mr. Golden Tate. Planning on having Mr. Golden Tate in the DB room next week. So, guys, get questions in. Email me. DM me on the Instagram for the DB room, or you can hit my Facebook page. I'm going to try to turn it from a Glover Quinn fan page to the DB room fan page. Hopefully we can get that done. But, man, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad everything worked with the audio. I knew what it was, man. My Mac was failing me. I had to get a PC. It's crazy. My Mac was failing me. I got a PC, and all of a sudden, everything just started working perfectly. So, yeah, man, you guys have a great Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Appreciate you guys, man. Be there for your kids, man. It's so important that we be there for our kids. They need us. They are looking to us. And from me having my own kids, the kids are going to do more of what they see than what we say. Okay, so show them how to do stuff. Show them the way instead of just telling them all the time, okay? So appreciate you guys, man. Thank you all for tuning in. We had a great show tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a great time. And, you know, I have to put on real quick. I have to put on a little bit of the DB music. Hey, peace. Have a good night and a good weekend. Peace.